It's always a good day when you get to talk about one of your favourite shows, so I have really been looking forward to this one. Hello there, welcome back to the channel. I am Grand Moff Tony. Now, when I set out to start doing these wishlist videos, the question that I kept asking myself was, when are we going to get to Rebels? Like, we have to get to Rebels as quick as possible because it is my favourite Star Wars media, and I'm not exaggerating by any stretch of the imagination. You know, to me personally, if you were to boil Star Wars down to its key factors, like the values that make up Star Wars, you would end up with Star Wars Rebels, because that's basically what it is. It is a concentrated delivery of everything that Star Wars stands for, right to your brain every time you watch it. It is fantastic. That's why I could put it on any time. I am always in the mood for a Star Wars Rebels rewatch. Even if I'm not in my annual canon watch through, I will just slap Rebels on, and even if it's just 1 or 2 episodes, or it starts as 1 or 2 episodes and then it evolves into, well, we're going to have to do the whole thing now. I love the characters, I love the story, I love the art style, I love everything about it. So when I say that Star Wars Rebels is my favourite Star Wars media, it's my favourite brand of Star Wars, you know I mean it. And luckily for me, Rebels has always been pretty well represented in the Black Series. You know, we got the majority of the crew back in the Red Line, we got Zeb in the Galaxy line, and then we got all of those original figures re-released with photoreal updates as the Galaxy line started to evolve. And I'm incredibly fortunate in that regard, and that is why the Star Wars Rebels crew are front and center in my primary Black Series display, because I love these characters so much. It just means so much to me to be able to just glance to the left when I'm working and there they all are. It is so satisfying. But that doesn't mean that there aren't still a ton of characters that I would love to get in Black Series form. So that is what we are doing today. We are continuing with my wishlist series, moving on to Star Wars Rebels. And I'm going to bring you 5 characters from Star Wars Rebels that I would love to see come to the Black Series. Now, Rebels got a ton of coverage already. I mean, the main crew has been in the line twice already, so it's unlikely that we're going to revisit this. There's some characters from the show that we're probably going to see come to the Black Series again, being as the Ahsoka show is being set up as like the spiritual successor to Star Wars Rebels, the 5th season that we never got. So we're probably going to get a ton of updated and live-actioned versions of these characters when the Ahsoka show lands in August. But with all that being said, there are still some characters from the original 4 seasons that I would love to see come to this line, so I'm gonna cut myself off, because otherwise I'm gonna sit here ranting and raving about how much I love this show all night long. Let's get into some honourable mentions. For my first honourable mention, I would love to see Rook come to the line. Now, as much as this character drove me insane in the 4th and final season of the show, always showing up when you didn't need him to, and always getting in the way, I have to admit it's a fantastic design of the character from the old Thrawn trilogy. This would be a complete alien design from head to foot. It's an opportunity to bring that incredibly unique Electro Staff weapon into the line. I just think it would be a great figure. I mean, the Black Series always does a great job with aliens. I think this would be another good one. And for my second honorable mention, I'm kind of cheating here because it's a whole bunch of them, but I would love to get the Season 3 updates to the Rebels crew into the Black Series. Now, Season 3 occurs after something of a time jump, and a number of characters go through a lot of changes between the Season 2 finale and the start of Season 3, whether it's Ezra's cropped hair and his new lightsaber, all of the great new designs on Sabine's armor, or of course, Kanan in his blind Kanan mode. That's just, it's peak Kanan, and I would love to get that in the line. So I'm gonna cheat, and I'm gonna throw that in there. I'd love to get the Season 3 looks in. Honorable mentions out of the way, let's move on to the actual list. At number 5, we have Ryder Azadi, the former governor of Lothal, the guy who's been beaten down by years and years of Imperial oppression and has all but given up until he meets the Rebels crew. This character is honestly one of my favorites in the show, because when you meet him, he is so done with trying to fight, but trying to do the right thing, and all he wants to do is just survive, even if it means living in hiding for the rest of his life. And then he meets meets Ezra and he meets the Rebels crew, and it just reawakens something in him where it reignites the spark of rebellion, and I just love it every single time. And of course, the great bait and switch going into the final arc of the series, absolute perfection. And Ryder is just a great character. He's brilliantly performed by Clancy Brown, and I absolutely love his design. I feel like as a Black Series figure, he would just really add some diversity to the Rebels section. There are a lot of generic Rebel soldiers, like you've got the Hoth soldier, you've got the Endor soldier that's coming out now, and you've got a lot of like basic soldier looking characters, especially from shows like Andor. I feel like Azadi has got such a unique look to him that he would really stand out on a shelf. And if you want another bit of incentive to get him in the line, I am once again pitching the idea of getting a land speeder back into the Black Series, because we've done it before, we could do it again. Pretty much every time we see Ryder, he's either on a swoop bike or he's in a land speeder. Maybe that's why his name's Ryder, I don't know. But I just feel like this would be a perfect inclusion in the line, because it's a great opportunity to bring one of those smaller, light vehicles in. Besides which, just give him his rifle and I'll be happy. I'll go out and buy a Black Series Ryder Azadi just to have him on my shelf. I think he's a fantastic character. He'd make a great figure. He comes in at number 5.
Help! Help! Commander!
Hold your fire! She's my responsibility! I'll get her back! Kanan's coming. He said to make it look good. Hold that lady! That's Kanan!
At number 4, we have the 8th brother, the surprise 3rd Inquisitor in Season 2. This guy, I feel like it would have such a unique design to him because he is so alien, and you know how much I go on and on about the Black Series and aliens, but he was one of those characters where I didn't even realize for the longest time that he is actually an alien. He's not human. I think he's a Torellian or something like that, but you can see he's got weird, like, grey frog feet, and he's got bizarre grey skin. It would be a great addition to the Inquisitors. And honestly, I would take as many Inquisitors as I can get my hands on. You probably guessed that there's another one coming up in the list soon, and you're absolutely right. But the 8th brother is just one of those one and done Inquisitors where he shows up in one episode, he does his thing, and then he's just completely cut out. Or is he? Is he done, or are we going to see him again in Ahsoka? I guess we'll find out in August. It kind of looks like it, but we'll find out. The Black Series always knocks these Inquisitors out of the park. They are always some of the best figures that you can get, and I just feel like the 8th brother is a worthy inclusion to that lineup. I just want to get like a whole squad of these guys and just line them up behind the Grand Inquisitor and just have them go out to Inquisit or whatever it is that they do. I just think it would be fantastic. All those red double-bladed lightsabers on those crazy spiral handles. It'll be great. I'm pretty sure I brought this up when I talked about the 9th sister on my Jedi Fallen Order video, but how great would it be to somehow be able to get a spinning Inquisitor lightsaber in the Black Series? I still don't know how they would pull it off, but I would buy it in a heartbeat, because the 8th brother, that's really his signature, because that's how he went out. I think that would be great. The 8th brother comes in at number 4.
3 Jedi.
At number 3, we have Governor Arinda Price. Now, I don't usually say this when I'm doing my wishlist videos, but this one to me feels like a no-brainer. We've got Tala. She's coming out in the Black Series for the Kenobi line, which brings in the female Imperial officer body. And what else is Hasbro working on right now? Oh, that's right, the Indiana Jones figures. And what character from Indiana Jones bears a striking resemblance to Governor Price? It's Cate Blanchett from Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. If you put that head on that body, you have Governor Price. And if I don't get Governor Price in the Black Series, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna get that Indiana Jones figure, I'm gonna get 2 Talas, and I'm gonna customize one of them into Price. But I would always, no matter how easy a custom is, no matter how easy it is to knock up, I would always rather get an official figure. So I am gonna stand here and I'm gonna plead my heart out, get me Governor Price in the Black Series, because she is a fantastic character. We don't see her for most of the show. She's just kind of mentioned offhand by various Imperials, but when she shows up in season 3, she makes it very clear from the outset that she means business, and she is a mean lady. She is so mean, and I absolutely love it. I love a malicious, cruel villain, and that she just fills that role perfectly. Aside from being a ridiculously easy character to realize with existing parts that Hasbro have, I think it would be another great opportunity to bring that interrogator droid that came with Grand Moff Tarkin into the line. Or maybe we could go one step further. Like, being as this is so simple, so easy, it's literally a case of popping a head from a figure that we know is probably going to come out onto a figure that has already come out. Maybe we could get that weird kind of torture chair that shows up every so often in the series. I don't know, I think that would be a great accessory, just to be able to slap one of your Rebels characters into this chair and then just have Governor Price come with like a data pad or something so she can cruelly turn up the damage. I just think it would be great. I think it's a fantastic idea for a figure, and I would 100% buy it. I'm 100% going to custom it in the meantime as soon as they announce that figure from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but I would always rather have an official figure. So Governor Price comes in at number 3.
Not bad.
The Empire taught me well.
My clan taught me better!
At number 2, we have the 7th Sister. I said I was going to bring her up, I'm bringing her up. She is a fantastic Inquisitor. Any way to get Buffy the Vampire Slayer into the Star Wars universe. What a brilliant reversal of expectations. Bring her in as just a ridiculously cruel villain. I love it. It's brilliant. She plays off so well against the 5th brother. I love the little rivalry they've got going on. And she's just fun. She's a good time. A lot of the points that I've made about the 8th brother can be very easily applied to the 7th sister. She is an alien as well. I believe she's a Mirialan, same species as Barriss Offee, so that gives us another opportunity for a brilliant alien head sculpt. And frankly, I've always loved her design above a lot of other Inquisitors. She's got kind of like a witch look to her with that big pointy helmet, and I love the streaks of red that you get in her costume. It's very Second Sister. And again, I'm going to bring this up because I mentioned it when I was talking about the 9th Sister, but this would be another opportunity to have an Inquisitor helmet that opens up to reveal the face, because hers does that a lot. Like, she's got her full face coverage and then it just slips back and there's that sleek and threatening alien face underneath with those pitch black eyes and those little yellow irises. It's just a great design, and I feel like it would be wasted if we had just a helmet on her that you couldn't open. So I think we can make it work. If we can get Moloch with a removable faceplate, we can definitely get the 7th sister to have one. I brought up in a video recently that I absolutely love it when figures come with little buddies, and again, the 7th sister is a great opportunity for that because she has a bunch of those little ID droids. You could definitely get away with slapping a couple of those droids in the box, and if you can find a way to make them collapse and cling onto her back the way that they do in the show, even better. But those guys were kind of like, they always showed up when you didn't want them there. Like, anytime that someone was, I don't know, randomly blurting out the location of their hidden base to a child that couldn't even understand them, yeah, you know one of those droids is hovering nearby. Sorry, Ezra, I'm sorry. It was one of the silliest things you did in the whole show. Had to bring it up. Had to go there. I just feel like this could be a fantastic Black Series figure. It's an Inquisitor, it's an alien. The 7th sister comes in at number 2.
You and I are gonna have a talk. And if you're good, maybe some of your friends will survive. Kill you? I have no plans to kill you. Yet.
But the number one character from Star Wars Rebels that I would love to see come to the Black Series is Agent Alexander Callis. This guy is so cool. Like, for the first 2 and a bit seasons, he's a serious threat to the Rebels crew. Every time he shows up, he's the only semi-competent Imperial that we see besides Tarkin and Vader. He's the only one that's really treating them like the threat that they are. And then when season 3 rolls around and you find out, surprise, he's switching sides. I never see it coming. Even though the clues are there, you just don't see it coming. And this is a character that I've seen customed so many times. So obviously there is demand out there in the Black Series community to get Callis, because it's a pretty easy custom. I think if you just get Admiral Ramparts, slap some mutton chops on him, 3D print yourself some ISB armor off of Etsy, you've pretty much made it all the way to Callis. But like I said, I would always rather get an official figure of these characters, and Callis is no exception to that. Add to this, it's another opportunity to bring in one of my favorite Black Series accessories of all time, which is the bow rifle that came with Garazeb Aurelios. Obviously, Callis has his own one, which he has modified, and it would be fantastic to get another one of these things in the line with the different colored energy at the end, so that you could kind of square the two off against each other and have them, I don't know, locked in some epic duel on the shelf. I just think it would be great. Callis is a brilliant character. Now, given the choice, I would obviously rather have Agent Callis rather than Callis in his season 4 Fulcrum look, where he's just kind of wearing a coat and he's got some slightly longer hair. I think his Imperial look is just so much better, but if there was a way that we could somehow do both, I don't know. Like, obviously he wears battlefield armor like General Veers does, and we know that piece is detachable. You can take that off. So that does give us the opportunity to kind of mix up his appearances, give him an alternate head where he's got the hair and the mutton chop beard, and yeah, you could finagle a season 4 Callis out of that. But if I had to choose between the two, it would be Imperial Callis all day. I'm pretty sure every character except Azadi on this list is a bad guy. Probably says a lot about me. Callis is one of the best characters on the show, and I think it is criminal that we don't have a Black Series Agent Callis already. You know, there are so many great characters in this show, and several of them haven't got Black Series figures yet, but yeah, 100% the one that I want to see the most is Agent Callis. So he comes in at the number 1 spot as the character that I would most like to see come to the line.
I know! I removed it from a Gosman myself! I was there when Lasan fell. I know why you fear those disruptors. I gave the order to use them.
So there you have it. Those were 5 characters from Star Wars Rebels, my favorite Star Wars franchise of all time, that I would love to see come to my favorite toy line of all time. It's really all about me on this list. It's my favorite Star Wars, and it's my favorite action figure line. Just smash those two together and I will be very, very happy indeed. Before I close things out, I just wanted to throw out a major thank you to everyone who showed up for last week's video. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to do very well, but it has absolutely blown up and the feedback has been incredible. It's been great chatting with every single one of you about, you know, your favorite parts about the Black Series line in general. Just trying to kind of balance the scales a little bit, you know, with a little bit more positivity in the conversation. It always goes a long way and I have very much enjoyed it. I'm not sure what we're doing on the channel next week since it's supposed to be Fine Editions, but I only really got 1 figure this month, so if anyone can think of a topic that I can go into with a week's worth of research, do just leave me a comment down below and let me know, and I may just make that video, you never know. And next time on the Wishlist series, we're going to be getting back onto the movies and we're going to be talking about Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Love that film so much, and I have some really good ideas for some more Rogue One figures that I want to get into the line. Are we going to get them? Probably not, but that's okay. I can sit here and wish. That's the point of a wish list. Until next time, I've been Grand Moff Tony. Those were my top 5 Black Series wishlist picks for Star Wars Rebels. You may subscribe when ready. Aw, did you just spoil that take? Down. Sit down. Sit down. This is not gonna work for me, buddy. Tebow, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave in a minute. Do that bit again. But the number...